All right, let's talk LLMNR mitigation. So the best defense here is to actually disable LLMNR. You have to disable not only LLMNR, but also MBTNS, because remember, if DNS fails, it goes to LLMNR. If LLMNR fails, it goes to MBTNS. Just cutting out LLMNR isn't enough. So to fully disable this, you have to disable both. Here is how you kind of do it. This is just a copy and paste of what I would actually send to a client or put on a report for a client as to how to disable this. If they are not able to disable LMNR or they just refuse to, then the second option is to tell them to enable network access control, which if you're not familiar with what that means, network access control means that, hey, I can't just go and plug into any port on your network and gain access. It's going to look for a MAC address and say, does this MAC address belong? And should we allow it? And a lot of the times, if it doesn't belong or it's not allowed, you're actually going to shut that port down, or otherwise it's just not going to let you on the network. So there are bypasses to network access control, but think again that this is an internal and you just want to make it as hard as possible for somebody to get into your network, and that would prevent this attack from even happening, or at least stall the attack from happening. The other thing here is to require the strong user passwords. So 14 characters or longer, 40 character passwords, probably the best, a long sentence, however long you want to make it, but it should be longer than 14 characters. And that's really what you want to harp on your policies to your clients is you want to tell them, like, yeah, you can have your minimum, but you should stress how easy it is to crack these passwords. The longer the password, the harder it is to crack. And it goes from like 7 or 8 characters being, a couple hours to, or even seconds to hours, from 14 characters, 15 characters being years to crack in a brute force attempt. So just that difference in a few extra characters and just making it a little bit longer really does make a difference, and it makes it really hard on us as an attacker to be successful. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense. And when you're in an interview, you can talk through LMNR, talk about disabling it for best case scenarios, and talk about other mitigations to prevent these sorts of attacks as well. So from here, we're going to move on and talk about how we can utilize LMNR poisoning to our advantage in other ways, and not just capture a hash and crack it, but actually use that hash to our advantage and gain access to a machine. So let's go ahead and take a look at that.